Hello, let's do the New York Times games for Saturday, October 25th. Okay, I'm seeing fleece, shaft, and hustle. This is to scam somebody out of something. Hose, that's the other one. All right, so that's almost certainly a category. Let's see if we can find out what purple is first, though. All right, I don't know this. I think Capote is somebody's last name. It sounds vaguely familiar. But I don't know who, or maybe it's not a name at all. Lincoln and Grant were both presidents, but I don't see other presidents in here. Grant could also mean like an award. You grant something to somebody. But I don't see really things that go with that either. Well, if Lincoln isn't president, what else would it be? Could be a car brand, Lincoln. The Lincoln Memorial. So it could be a building. Could be a city, Lincoln, Nebraska. I don't see anything that goes with any of those things. Or a word that doesn't look like it's spelled. Because when you sound out Lincoln, it looks like colon. Kind of have a silent L there at the end. But I don't see other things that go with that either. Wait up. Milk was a politician. He was like a city councilor or something like that in San Francisco back in the 70s or something, or maybe the 80s. Who was the actor? They did a movie about him like 20 years ago. I didn't actually see the movie, but it was called Milk. Maybe these are titles of movies. Is there a movie called Grant? And maybe there's one called Capote? I could see that. So maybe? Oh no, Ray. There was a movie called Ray with Jamie Foxx about Ray Charles, right? Maybe Grant isn't. Maybe it's Capote. I could see that. I'm not sure about it at all, but I could see it. So I'm going to just hold on to this one. I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce Capote. Capote. I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody will correct me. All right, what's stopwatch going with? Obviously, we could be going with either stop or watch, but there's not a lot of compound words in here. Maybe it goes with alarm, date. These are things that are like on your clock app on your phone or on a calendar. Well, stopwatch isn't on a calendar. Well, maybe light. Maybe these are things like in your quick settings on your phone. Although I don't really see a stopwatch up there too much. But I bet I could add it on there if I wanted to. Like a flashlight. So maybe. So let's say this is a category. And then we had shaft, fleece, hustle, and hose as like a scam category. Then we might have Lincoln, Ray, Milk, and Capote, or Grant. That would leave accord, vest, award, and either Capote or Grant. Maybe vest, like not the clothing, but you invest in something. You vest. I think that's a thing. So I think maybe Grant does go with award and accord. Oh, I don't know about accord. Accord? Accord I always thought of as like a conference or something. Like you had the Camp David Accords back in the 90s. It was like a negotiation sort of thing. Or you reach an accord with somebody. You reach an agreement. I wouldn't call it an award, but maybe. Maybe there's another meaning I'm not aware of. All right, so if that's the thing, and I'm right about all these, which one of these would be purple? Because none of these are like a fill in the blank or taking part of the word or adding or removing letters sort of thing. It might be the movie one. I'm going to try the movie one. Let's try it. Nice. Best actor awarding I always want to say biopics because that's what I always heard when I was a kid, but it's biopics is more popular these days. Biopics, which makes more sense, but I just always remember hearing it as biopics. So that's where my brain still wants to go. All right, what's blue? I mean, grant, accord, award, and vest is a synonym category, but this is a really tough synonym category, so I'm not sure about this one. And then shaft, hose, fleece, and hustle is also a synonym category. So those are usually green and yellow, but the accord one might be hard enough that they might consider it a blue. But I'm going to go with date, alarm, stopwatch, and light. Actually, now I'm not sure. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Nah, it's green. Digital watch features. Oh, okay. I was thinking more of a phone thing, but okay. I can see it. So then grant, vest, accord, and award. I'm guessing is blue then? All right, confer. Accord still doesn't seem quite right to me, but I'm sure I'm wrong about that. And then this is just a, scam somebody. Swindle. Oh, I like that word, swindle. We're up to 67 on the purple first to get to 75, so we're 8 more purples we need to get first. Ooh, I have 289 perfect puzzles. 1 away from 300. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I need to remember to look at these numbers more. Trick or Triumph Challenge. What is this? Earn this badge by successfully completing a special themed connections puzzle published on October 31st. Ooh, they're going to have a themed one. I always do terribly at the themed ones. My most watched video, I think, of all time was, I think it was the April 1st one where it was just symbols. I think that, like, on TikTok had, like, something like 35,000 views or something. Where I lost. Hopefully that won't happen again. All right, let's see what they give it. 2.3. That seems about right. There wasn't like a super obvious category, but none of them were really that hard either. I mean, the purple one is very trivia related, but it wasn't like a fill in the blank or taking parts of words sort of thing. All right, let's check the bot. Oh, pretty difficult. 4 to 5, 55% solve rate. I mean, a lot of the words were slangy, I think, if I remember. 97 skill, only because I couldn't determine which one was blue. I would have got a 99. 1 in 264, that's about right. Okay, for first, it's not like a huge difference between green, yellow, and blue, and a bit of a drop down in purple. 10% of people really know their movies. Although, I wasn't sure about Capote. That one I just kind of put in there because it didn't go with anything else. Who is Capote? Let's look this up. Capote. Okay, he was played by Philip Seymour Hoffman in the movie. He was a novelist. Truman Garcia Capote was an American author, screenwriter, playwright, and actor who's considered a founder of new journalism. He's best known for his 1966 true crime novel, In Cold Blood, based on a 1950s Kansas murder. I knew I had heard the name before, I just didn't know who it was. All right, let's check over. So green overtakes yellow forever, like by kind of a significant amount. It's 12 percentage points. And even blue has more than yellow. Let's check out losing games. 17% just getting nothing. And then a combination of blue and green for most of the rest of the games. Let's check the mistakes. Shaft, fleece, milk. Also, I've never heard milk in that way. Like, I know milk, you can... Like, if you're continually... like scamming somebody, maybe you're milking them for money, but the milking part itself isn't a reference to cheating. Like, milking just means to, like, continuously, harvest something. Like, obviously, if you're milking a cow is where it comes from, you do it, something you do a lot. You do it over and over again. And then just putting last names together. Grants, I thought of it because milk is, it obviously has a lot of other meanings, so throwing Grant in there makes sense, but I don't know if there was ever a movie called Grant. Although, obviously, if it's just famous surnames, that wouldn't be it. Dual use words. Shaft, fleece, hustle, Capote. Shaft. Oh, Shaft was a movie, but it's not a biopic. It's Shaft is a fictional character. Maybe you do like lead characters in a movie. Like one name movie titles. If that was the category, you could do that. They didn't have a rainbow herring in here, so maybe after putting rainbow herring in the puzzle and just knowing that had kind of become a thing, they're leaning away from it a little bit. They're tricking us before they bring it back. All right, on to the mini. All right, sword go with, I have no idea what that means. Hamburger or Frankfurter, for example, German. Sticky stuff on bark. Sap? Sticky stuff on bark. I'm not sure. Hotel room pricing. I'm not sure. Classic arcade game of hopping between obstacles. Frogger? The W of the WNBA. Women's. I'm not sure actually. Looked after a pup. Dog sat? Drill instructor's rank abbreviated. Sergeant. Blank Lost. #1 album for Drake and 21 Savage. I have no idea. Fury. Anger? 3-letter word? I'm not sure. Appears on the scene. Arrives. Appears on the scene. A dish layered like this. Sheet of noodles, sauce, cheese, repeat. That is a lasagna. Is that how that's spelled? Genetic screening procedure. I'm not sure. As per my last email. Okay. Sword goeth. Sword goeth. Sword. Shield. Sword and shield. Sticky stuff on bark. Tree sap. Oh, the double word thing. All right. Hotel pricing. Fare? That's more of a taxi. I don't think that's right. What about the downs? Appears on the scene. Emerges. Rate. I mean, compared to the last couple of Saturdays, this is an amazing time. An absolutely amazing time. 152, I'll take that. Heck, that's a good time even compared to some of the regular ones lately. So what is this? DNA test. It's always the multiple word ones that get me. All right, did I get everything? It is women's. I wasn't sure if it was woman. Well, I mean, why would it be woman's? Yeah, that does make any sense. I guess I just had never spelled out the entire thing before. Dog sat, Frogger. The only reason I know this is really from the Seinfeld episode where George has to try and save the Frogger game that he has a high score on from when he was a kid. And he tries to actually play Frogger, pushing the arcade through the streets. It's pretty funny. Sergeant Her loss. I've never heard of either of those. Fury ire. I never use that word ire. Emerges. Okay, I think I got everything. So yeah, not too bad. All right, on to pips. All right, 11. So this has to be 6.5. We do have a 6.5. We also have a 10 cage here. This has to be equals. What do we have? 3. We have 3 5s, but we're going to need a 5 in here, so that doesn't work. So that's going to have to be the 0. So this is probably 0, 0 here, 0, 5 down, and then 6 something in here. We don't know what. This is less than 8, so the 1 4 is probably going to have to go in here. That's 5 already, so this doesn't work. This already doesn't work. What am I missing? We have 4 5s, so maybe this is a 6 4 over here. So maybe this... How are we doing this? This has to be a double here, so this has to be 5s, I guess. And then this will be 5 6. And then 5 0. This will be double 0. This can be like this, and then this can be like this. Man, they're getting really hard on the easies lately, too. Minute 4, oof. All right, on to medium. All right, 24. This has to be 4 6s. How many 6s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4. Okay, it's good to know. This has to be the double 6. And then this has to be equal, so we have either 6 2 or 6 3 right here. So this has to be a 2 or a 3. This is a 1, so this is 1 5 maybe, or 1 1. We don't have enough 1s for this equal, so this is going to have to be 1 5. And then, not sure where we're putting this. Double 5, maybe here? Sure, why not? We don't have a 0, so we can't put 5 3 here. This is going to have to be 5 2 maybe over here. Well, this doesn't have to be a 5 at all, so let's not even bother with that. I have a bunch of not equal stuff in here. Where's this 4 4 going? We could do maybe 4 4 like this. And 6 4? No, we don't have a 6 4. We have a 6 3 and a 6 2. So we could do 6 2 down. Then we'd have to do 6 3 over. And this would have to be the 2 2 maybe? Sure. But again, we don't have a 0. How are we doing this? This would have to be 5, 2, 5, 1, 1. This would have to be 5, 3, but that doesn't work because now we have 2 3s in here. How are we doing this? Let's assume these are all right. Can we do 6 3 over here? And we'd have to do 6 2 this way. This would need another 3, so we'd need 3 5, so that doesn't work either. We could always do this and then put another 5 over here down and do like 1 1 here. Now, if we did this, this would have to be an even one, so that doesn't work. Unless we're doing 5 5 down, like this. And then we could do 5 2 down and then 5 3 over like this. And then maybe we could put the 6 2 back over here. 6 3 up like this now, because then we have 2 3s in here. Or we could switch these around. Could do that. Ooh, I think we have it. I think we have it. Put the 2 2 here and then the 4 4 up here. All right, man. Again, I don't think I played that terribly. But imagine, remember when we used to routinely get mediums under 40 seconds? I don't mind it being hard, but like I feel like they should adjust the goals for like what counts as a good game. All right, on to hard. Hopefully this won't take forever. Oh my god, this is gigantic. All right, we have a 0 here. How many zeros do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there could be a ton of things. But how many zeros do we have that has 1 over 5? I think it's just this one. No, we have a 0, 5 and a 0, 6. Okay, so it's one of those two. We need 2 zeros here, so that counts for 3 of the zeros right there. This is 26 and a 5 cage. So that could be 4 5s and a 6, maybe. This has to be 2 6s right here. How many 6s do we have? We have 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, that pretty much forces this to be 4 5s and a 6, because we're going to have 2 6s here. All right. How many 5s do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me recount that. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 5s. 4 of them are going in here. Okay, good to know. This has to be... All right, we have a 0 here, 2 zeros here. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So this is going to have to be like 2 1s, a 0, and a 2, or 4 1s. But do we have a 1 1? We do have a 1 1. Okay. I'm going to have to just start placing things probably. All right, we have a 5 5, and that's probably going, I don't know, right here. No, they can't go right here because that would force this to be a 0 and we don't have a 0. So maybe it goes like this. Do we have a 5 0? We do. So we could just go down like this. That's possible. We're going to need a double in here somewhere, I think. Because if there's a domino, let's just place this right here just to visualize this. This domino isn't going here, obviously. If there's a domino that goes down right here, then this is going to have to be a double. But if there's a domino that goes right here, then this or this is going to have to be a double. So we need something that's a double in there. What do we have? We have a double 2. The double 5, I believe, has to go over here. We can't put 5s in here. We need most of the 5s over here. So we can't do that. We have double 1s, so this could be 1s. Although I'm guessing the double 1's going to need to be in here. So I'm going to put the 2s in here. Let's just say this is 2. Maybe we could go like 2 1 down. That works. 1 1. We'd need a 1 and a small number over here. Do like 1 4. 2 0. I mean, this is working. We'll see if it works out this way. Do we have a 2 5 or 2 6? We do. So we could do this. And then like 6 0. 6 1 goes down. We're cooking here. Maybe. Ah, come on. Work. 6 4. Okay. This is the only 2 we have left, so that would have to go here. We need a 0 and a more than 4. Ooh, we can't do that. We need the 04, the 06 over here. Or the 05 or the 06 over here. Where's the 05 at? It's right here. Is there anywhere else we can put this 5? Oh man, I thought I was onto something here. Maybe I can still just tweak this. I was just going kind of fast. I don't know if this is going to matter. Like the 6s are going to go in here in some way. I feel like the 6-1 almost has to go here. I don't think this one really matters. It could go either way. All right, so the 6 has to go, this 6-0 has to go in one of these spots up here. Because we need the 3 6s, we need 2 of them here and 1 of them in here. So this can't be the 06 here. It has to be the 05. That has to go there, it's forced. Okay, so we'll need this 5 in here. So this 5 can't point down. So this is where the 5-5 is going to have to go. Do we have a 00? How are we getting this? 0 here. Do we have a 00? We don't have a 00. So how are we doing these 2 zeros here with this equal 26? Oh, we do the 06 down here. And then this one can go over here. If it'll let me actually do it. If the game will actually let me play. And then we could put the 5s here. We could still put the 5-2 here and the 5-1 up here. And then 4-0 can go here. And then the 3-0 over here. All right, 5 minutes. Again, honestly, I don't think I played this that badly. A lot of the stuff I placed first worked out, although it took me a while to start placing things. So yeah, to get a good time, you just got to start placing things and get lucky if you ever want to get a great time. But on this one, knowing that 6s had to go here, if I would have realized... I said early on that either the 05 or 06 had to go here, and then I said later that 1-6 had to go here and the other 2 had to go here. I should have went back and thought how that forced the 05 here. And then the rest of the 5s would have to go in here, and that would have made it easier to place. That also forces the 6-0 to go here because we need a 0. We don't have a 00. So whatever goes here would have to be the 06. It's the only one that works. But the 2s was kind of a guess. I didn't really count that out to see how many numbers we had that had 4 that could fit in here. And this one I was like, is it going to be 4 1s or is there going to be a 0 and a 2 in here? Not sure. So a lot of that was just kind of lucky guessing on my part. And it still was almost 5 minutes. Or actually over 5 minutes. So yeah, just they've been rough lately. Is this supposed to be a design of some kind? Like an actual like... I mean, everything is a design, really. I mean, it was designed some way, but is it supposed to look like something? I guess it looks like yes. Y-E-S, maybe? Okay, well, if you're enjoying the videos, please leave a like and subscribe and let me know how you did on all the puzzles today.